Hello, I'm Vildtiger. I'm making this video about Axel, who happens to be my favorite character in the Kingdom Hearts universe. The reason why I like him is not because of how he looks like, but how his personality is, also his story in the game series. To understand more about Axel, I want to start at the beginning of what we know about him, and that is in the game Birth by Sleep. Here we see him as a teenager, along with Isa, who happens to be Zack's human persona. The scene is kinda short, but it did give me some intel of who Lee was as a human. Just a quick side note, even I see his name as a girl name. Thank Kingdom Hearts they spelled it as Lee in the English version. No offense, but I'm not sure I could take you seriously with that name. Hey, no burning! Besides, you against magic. Being a Takata and all. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Lee and Isa were friends. Very close friends actually. And even with that short of a scene, I could really see their personalities. Isa being calm, collected and quite sarcastic, while Lee being childish, competitive, and kind of a clown. In a good way, of course. But after that, it is unknown territory, and I have a few theories of how those two got turned into nobodies. But I don't want to go into details about that. So moving on to the nobodies. According to the journals, in the game 385 half days, both Axel and Zack joined the organization at the same time, and was planning to overthrow Semnes and regain their hearts. And here people thought that Marluxia and Lyxane was the only traitors, and Zack were kissing up to Semnes. I would say no. Sorry Marley, someone came before you, and seems to be more subtle about it. Zack and Axel were the first, and I'm not sure about you, but I think Zack were following the term, keep your friends close and your enemy closer. For the plan was working. Or at least I think it did. Semnes didn't seem to know. Or did he? I honestly can't tell with that guy. While Zack secretly worked against Semnes, Axel helped him out in the field. Together, several of those who were loyal to Semnes and those who just was in the way got sent to Past Oblivion and got eliminated by Axel's hands, schemes, or his lies. And Axel did it without hesitation. Why? He was a nobody, and nobody does not feel, thanks to the lacking of a heart, and thus he could kill a person without a single trace of regret. But something did change. When Axel returned from Past Oblivion, he turned hostile against Zack, and even beginning of turning his back on his former friend and the plan of overthrowing Semnes. Why did he begin of doing it? Was it because he was realizing that Zack wasn't the friend he knew? Or was Axel the one who changed? Maybe Axel was changing, for while his relationship with Zack was fading, his relationship with Roxas and Xion was growing, becoming a friendship. Axel became the one who told them how things we take for granted works, became both Roxas and Xion's source of knowledge, the one they went to if they had a problem. I would dare say that Axel's relationship with Roxas and Xion became like an older brother taking care of his younger siblings. Sadly, as time went on, even that friendship began breaking, for Xion was beginning to set too much strength from Roxas. You see, she was a replica, an artificial human created from Sora's memories about Kairi. She was designed to take away Roxas' powers, and when she found out the truth, she ran away, in hope it would protect Roxas. Unfortunately, Semnes did not want that, and ordered Axel to bring her back, and Axel did it, more than once actually. He did not want to, but if he did not obey, then his life would be in danger. Yeah, no person there. The situation with Roxas did not get any better, for Roxas was beginning to question his origin and why he was wielding a keyblade. Axel lied to him, even refused to reveal anything about where Roxas came from, all to keep Roxas away from Sora and making sure that he wouldn't get in danger by betraying the organization. And that is Axel's biggest flaw. Axel lies a lot. And even if his pretty impressive lying skills caused the death of all members in Castle Oblivion, his constantly lying lastly broke the trust between him and Roxas. Things was coming to a breaking point. Roxas had left, going to find Sora, as said before, lost his trust in Axel. And Xion, she was planning on sacrificing herself to save Roxas and return those memories she accidentally stole. That in turn made her to a person. Axel finally snapped at that point, and enraged by how willingly those two were to throw away their lives, he made a pretty important promise and showed that he could actually feel, even as a nobody, for he needs emotions to show that form of anger.
I'm sick of it. Go on, you just keep running. But I'll always be there to bring you back!
See you again. I'm glad I got to meet you. Oh, and of course, Axel too. You are both my best friends. Never forget. That's the truth.
Dang, those two scenes gets me every time. He fell bringing his friends back, and both disappeared from his life, both going back to where they came from, Sora. Sadly, when Xion disappeared, every single memory of her disappeared as well. All that was left was the sadness Roxas felt when she died in his arms. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Axel makes a weird plan in kidnapping Kairi. You see, his reason for this was because he knew that Kairi was important to Sora, and was hoping that friending Kairi would make Sora get lost into the darkness, turn him into a Heartless. All in all, Axel was hoping that turning Sora into a Heartless, Roxas would return, because Roxas is Sora's nobody. But Sai stopped that plan. In Kingdom Hearts 2, Axel and Sai's bond was completely broken. Now Sai was Axel's worst enemy. Why? Because Sai knows Axel's way of thinking and can more or less predict the man's move. In the game, the last scene about him, Axel helps Sora in the realm of betraying, and somehow is badly wounded. And no, it's not because of those pesky nobody does. He was wounded before all that happened, and I have a pretty good idea who that was. Axel tried to rescue Kairi himself, but again, Sykes predicted his move and attacked him, stopping the rescue, and I think that Sykes was the one who wounded Axel. In the battle, Axel uses all his strength to one huge attack, killing himself in the progress. The only reason why he did it was because he wanted to protect his friend. He wanted to protect Roxas, so he protected Sora. And as he dies, I get the feeling that Axel had accepted that he was alone, something his human self did not like. He wanted to be remembered, and the only one who did remember him was Roxas, the only one who considered him as a friend. He did get one last talk with Roxas in a secret cutscene, but for me, it felt more like a goodbye. But this is not the end for our Fire Wilder, for he returned in dream drop distance as human. I was delighted, but not really surprised. I have somehow been known that ever since the Dakota came out. Well, Axel or Lee has become human again, and he has gotten his fire back. What the? Not that kind of fire, jerk! As I said, with a new determination of getting his friends back, Lee travels to Yensid and wishes to obtain a Keyblade. Why do you ask? Easy. In his mind, he needs one to return his friends from where they are trapped. And I mean all of them. Even Isa, he wishes to save. But I think that would be quite troublesome. Here's the reason. Isa is with Xehanort, Xion has faded away, and Rosas are inside of Sora. Yeah, that would be one heck of a quest. Making a Starlight about it, that would be awesome! This is where the game series ends. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. I'm Vildtiger, until next time!